This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last session, we have discussed about the page black table, and we have discussed how can we use that page black table in order to represent the records on the Visualforce page in the tabular format. And upon representing the records in the tabular format, what are the various tags that we need to use, like the page black table tag and the column tag we have discussed. And upon representing the records in the tabular format, if you want to represent the specified columns information in the form of hyperlink, then we are using a tag called as output link tag. And then how can we use this output link tag to redirect the user to the specified page we have discussed. So as of now, we have collected all the records from the object and we are able to represent on the page in the tabular format. But in some cases, I don't want to fetch all the records from the object. I don't want to search and I don't want to fetch all the records from the object. I want to fetch only some specific records. Only some specific records. Like I want to fetch only those account records whose name is starting with the character some Ram. Sometimes I want to fetch only those account records whose name is starting with the character some P. Like Pavan, Paramesh, like that. Whatever the account records are there, whose name is starting with the character some P, those records I would like to fetch. Like that, depends upon some search criteria, whatever we have supplied. Like for example, I want to implement the search functionality like this. I want to implement the search functionality like this. So this is the search feature which I would like to implement. I would like to have a text box. In this text box, the user has to enter some starting characters. For example, I'm entering the characters like as some RA, only 2 characters I have entered. So after entering these characters, when the user click on this particular search accounts button, when the user click on this search accounts button, immediately it has to verify. So whatever the account records available inside the object, whose name is starting with the character some RA, like as Ram, Ramesh, Rajesh, Rakesh, like that. Whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with the character some RA, based on that characters, it has to fetch the records. Those records has to get visible to me in the tabular format. That means I want dynamic records, not all, only some specific records based on this specified matching criteria. Based on this matching criteria, I would like to fetch only those records over. I don't want to fetch all the records available inside the object. I want to fetch only some specified criteria. Based on the criteria, I would like to search for the records by using dynamic search mechanism. And upon representing those records, that record name should be get visible in the hyperlink format. So upon click on this hyperlink, it has to redirect the user to the detail page of the record also. The record has to be get open for me over here. I can see the complete details of the record also. Now, how can we implement this functionality? Now, let's see practically over here. Now, so in this case, I want to implement this kind of dynamic search mechanism. I want to search for the record over here. Then how can we search the records? Now, let's see practically in this case. So first of all, I have to design the user interface like this. First of all, I want to design the user interface like this in order to search for the records. Now, and then I would like to implement them. I would like to implement the business logic so that I can able to fetch the required records or the matching records based on the specified characters inside this particular text box. Now, then how can we do this one? Here now let's see practically in this case. So let me take a small use case. Design a Visual Force page that sets for the account records based on the specified input characters. Based on the specified characters at runtime. Design a Visual Force page to search for the account records based on the specified character set. Match the input text with account name. Okay. Match the input text with the account name and represent the records in the tabular format. Now in this case, represent the result records in the tabular format. Represent the result records in the tabular format. Represent the result records in the tabular format. Now, display each account record name in the form of a hyperlink. In the form of a hyperlink, and redirect the user to the detailed page of the account. Detailed page of the account upon click on the hyperlink. Upon click on the hyperlink, redirect the user to the detailed page of that account. Redirect the user to the detailed page of the account record. Here, upon click on this account record. Now, this is my use case. How can we implement this use case? Now, let's see practically in this case. Now, let's how can we implement this? So what needs to be done? First of all, we have to design the user interface like this. We have to place one text box over here.
We can't hear you, Feroz.
Now, so now let's see in this case. So now what I want to do is, so I would like to search the records based on this search criteria. So what are the characters that have entered inside this text box? Based on these characters, I would like to set the records upon click on this button control. Now, let's see how can we implement. So what needs to be done? First of all, we have to design this user interface. So first of all, we have to design this user interface. Then we can able to go with that implementing the custom business logic. Then how to do that? Okay, let me explain over here. How can we implement this functionality right now? Now let me design the user interface first. I'm preparing a page. I'm preparing a user interface with the name Search Account Records page. Okay. I'm preparing a page with the name Search Account Records page. I would like to use Search Accounts page. So this is the page which I would like to design. But with this name, there is no page has been designed. So I would like to create a new Visualforce page with this. Now, so let's design the user interface according to the business requirement. So it is providing the default code. So let's go to the default code which has been given by Visualforce by default. I'm removing this default code. Now my page is empty. There is no content inside my page. My page is an empty page. No content is available. Now I would like to design the user interface. Now I would like to design the user interface right now. So according to the business need, I want to design the user interface like this, which has a search functionality. Now let's see how can we implement this. I'm giving the default properties first. Setup equals to false. Sidebar equals to false. Show header equals to true. And the tab style equals to customer object tab style. And then I'm indicating the section header. Apex section header. Title equals to accounts. Subtitle equals to search accounts. I'm implementing the form tag. Inside this form tag, I'm going to be representing the page block. I'm giving the title. Title equals to search accounts block. Search accounts block. So now, in order to place that text box in the button controls, I would like to have a page block section. Page block section. I'm indicating the title of the section. Title equals to search account records. and the number of columns to be used to arrange the fields is 2, and the collapsible option equals to false. I'm placing a page black section. Inside this section, I want to place these two controls. One is a text box, apex, input text, label equals to enter search text, and I would like to specify the HTML placeholder. I'm indicating enter search text. So this is the text box which I have represented here. I want to place a button control, so that I'm placing a button control, command button, value equals to search records. I'm placing the button control with the name search records. So I have prepared a page block. Inside the page block, I have added one section. In this section, I am going to be placing a text box control, which is used to enter the input text based on which we can able to search for the records. Second one, the button control in order to invoke the action. After entering the data, I would like to invoke this action to search for the records, so that I'm using that search records button. Now, in order to represent the results, I would like to have a separate page block, apex page block. I would like to take a separate page block to represent the results. I'm indicating the title, search results. How many records has been returned as the result, I would like to know. For that one, I'm going to place in this page block over here. I would like to display the count also over here. Now, in this particular braces, I would like to represent how many number of matching records has been returned. To represent that record count, I'm going to be using this particular braces over here. Now my user interface is ready right now. Now my requirement is what? I need to search for the records. Based on what? For example, I'm entering some characters, some text. So upon click on that search records button, whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with the character test, because test account 1, test account 2, test account 3, okay, testing record, like that, whatever the records are available, whose name is starting with the character test, those records I would like to fetch. Nothing but similar kind of record, nothing but matching records I need to fetch with the help of like operator. That already you know, as part of SQL query, whenever if you want to search for the records based on some starting characters, we are using the where class along with like operator. Through like operator, we can fetch the similar kind of records, and those records I want to represent inside my page block, okay, by using this page block table, and then that matching records count I want to represent inside this page block table caption. That means in the title. I want to represent the count of records also. Then how can we do this one? Now, so now in order to search for the records, we need to write some SQL query, right? Yes. Where we need to write that SQL query? Inside a procedure. Inside a procedure. Now, inside that procedure, we are going to be writing that SQL query. In that SQL query, we have to pass this value. Whatever the input value we have entered, this value we need to pass to the SQL query. Where is that SQL query? Inside my Apex class. So how can we collect this value? Whatever the value we have entered inside my text box, this value we have to collect into your Apex class by using a variable. This is a string type of value. So I need to define one string variable inside my Apex class. Now, let me explain the code inside this particular user interface. Then I will show the code in the practical part. So this is the user interface which I'm having right now. This is the user interface. I need to write the business logic over here. How to write the business logic? Let me explain the business logic over here. Then we'll go with the actual implementation part. Now, so I need to write that business logic for this. Then what we can do? What are the characters we have entered over here? Like as some, for example, I'm passing the character some text. Okay, I'm passing the character some text. What are the characters we have entered? These characters I would like to collect into my Apex class, so that I'm going to preparing one Apex class over here. Public class search accounts helper Okay, so now I need to collect this particular value inside my Apex class. So then what we can do to store this value, I'm defining a string variable, like some such a text. I'm defining a variable with a get and set. That means what? I'm defining a variable with the name such a text, which is of type string. Why? Because is whatever the input value we have entered in the text box, this input value I would like to capture, I want to place inside my variable over here. So that I've defined the variable. Then in this case, how do we know whether this value is coming into this variable or not? So in this case, whatever the variable we have defined, this variable we have to map with this text box. How? Inside the text box, we have to specify that. Now let me explain. Apex input text. I'm indicating the label. What is the label? Enter such a text. This is the label which I have specified. So whatever the value we have entered in my text box, where it has to store inside this variable, so that we can specify value property. In this value property, specify the variable name. What is the variable name? Such a text. This is the variable. That means whatever the value we have entered inside my text box, please place this value, please store this value inside my such a text variable, so that I'm mapping the connection between this variable and the text box. Okay, I'm mapping the connection between this variable and the text box here. This value will be coming over here, so that I have mapped the connection. How? Inside the text box itself, upon preparing the text box, I have indicated please store this text box value inside this variable. Now, so whenever we are entering some data inside my text box, this value will be storing inside this variable. Now, if the value is available here, then we can able to implement the remaining functionality. Then what we can do? I need to implement the business logic over here. Such a functionality I need to implement. Now, for that one, I would like to prepare a method. Public void search account records. Now, remaining business logic is same, no change, same story. You know that. So now what needs to be done? We have to verify. I need to search the records based on this search text. For that one, first of all, I need to verify whether this search text variable is having the value or not. If search text not equals to null and the search text not equals to empty, that means if this particular variable is not empty, okay, not null, then only I would like to implement that functionality. Then what I need to do here now, let's see. In this case, I would like to search for the record. So that here I'm adding search a text plus equals to percentage. Why? Because we are using the like operator. For that one, we have to add percentage symbol, so that I'm adding percentage symbol over here. Then I need to collect the data based on this. Collect the account ID, name, rating, industry, like that. What are the columns that you want, you can specify from account object. Where name like search a text. That's it. We can collect the data, store the data inside a collection. LST. Store the data inside a collection. This collection we can able to define it over here. Okay, this collection we have to define it over here. Public list of account LST. Here we can create the object of this collection class and we can store inside this. Okay, now after that, suppose if the user did not enter any text value over here, then what we can do? In this case, I want to show that error message over here. Okay, I want to show the error message to that user. For that one, what I want to do is I want to write some logic. I want to indicate, else I want to show the error message, like as Apex pages dot add message. Here we can able to specify the message whatever you want over here. You know how to display the error messages, you know that part. That's it, simple concept. Okay, so now without entering any data inside this, if the user click on the search accounts button, I want to show the error message. Okay, I want to show the error message. Okay, I want to show the error message that it has to display the message. Please enter some search text in order to search for the records. Without entering any search text, then how can we search? What data we can search? What data we can fetch? We don't know. For that reason, here I would like to verify this. Okay, now this is how we need to implement the business logic here. Now, first of all, what needs to be done? We have to design the user interface first as a step one. Then implement that business logic class as a step 2. In that one, in order to search the records, we need that search text. Okay, we need that search text. So that collect this value. Now to store this value, we need a variable. So define a variable first as a step 3. And then map this variable with this text box here as a step 4. How? This is the property here, value property. And then once the value is available, then do whatever you want. Then prepare a method. Why I'm preparing the method? Because after entering the data, when I click on this button control, then only I want to invoke this search functionality. So that upon click on the button control, if we want to perform some operation, then we have to use that action property. So that action property is used to specify the method name. So I'm preparing the method over here. I'm going to be writing the business logic. This business logic is same story. You know that. So many times we did as part of Apex programming here. As part of SQL queries, DML statements, we have used multiple places. Same story, no change. And then store the records inside a collection. Make that collection with the get and set, and then display this collection data inside your Visual Force page in the tabular form. That's it. Okay. Now let's go with this implementation part. How can we do this? Now I'm done with the user interface design. Okay, I'm done with this user interface design. I'm done with this user interface design right now. So now, after entering some characters, when the user click on the search records button, I want to search for the records. So that I need to write the business logic. So prepare a business logic class. I'm using the property controller. I'm indicating that class name as search accounts controller. Okay, accounts controller. So with this name, there is no class has been defined as of now. So I'm creating this class. So click on the link, second link, it will be creating a new class for me. It is creating a new class for me. Click on the second tab and write the business logic inside this. First of all, what needs to be done? Whatever the input values you have entered inside this, we need to collect them. For that one, to store these values, I'm defining a variable. Public string search text. Making it as get inside, because this value will be coming from my text box. So now, once a variable has been defined, then map the connection between these two. So whatever the value we have entered inside my text box, this value I would like to store inside this variable. So let's map the connection between these two. Go to this text box. This is the text box that we have. We are indicating the value property. Value equals to specify the variable name where exactly you would like to store this text box value. So map the connection between these two. So whatever data that have entered in this text box, now onward this value is storing inside variable called as search text variable, which is available inside my controller class called as search accounts controller. This variable class, it will be having the variable. In this way, I will be getting stored. Now, in variable the value, now implement the business logic. Public void search account records. Now, so we need to verify that here. We need to verify whether this variable is having some value or not. I need to verify. If search text not equals to null and search text not equals to, if the search text variable value not equals to null and if the search text variable value not equals to empty, then what I need to do, I need to search for the records over. So I'm adding search text plus equals to percentage. That means I'm going to be adding the percentage symbol over here. Now search for the records. How can we search? By using SQL query. I'm searching. Select ID of the account, name, rating, industry, annual revenue, phone, fax, type, ownership, customer priority, active status, from account, where name like such a text. So where name like such a text. So I'm searching for the records. I'm searching for the records. I'm searching for the ID, name, rating value, industry, annual revenue, phone, and you can specify the required columns to be get searched. Whatever the columns information you want to search, you want to fetch, you can specify the column name based on that condition where name like such a text. So it is returning some matching account records. So that to store those records, I'm defining a collection. But that collection data where you want to show on my Visual First page. So that define that collection on class level. I'm defining this. Public list of account LST accounts. I'm making it as get and set. I'm making it as get and set. I'm defining a collection over here. List of account. Okay. I'm defining a collection list of account. The LST accounts I'm going to be indicating with the get and set because this collection data I want to represent on my Visual First page so that this collection data can be accessible from the Visual First page also. Now, so I'm creating the object of this collection. LST accounts equals to new list of. Okay, I'm creating the object of this collection. So now here I am going to be collecting this data from the object by using this SQL query. I want to store the data inside my collection so that I am going to be indicating this collection. Now, select the ID of that account record and the name of the account record and then specify the columns based on which you would like to matching that records here so that I'm indicating from account where name like this such a text over. Okay. So I'm implementing this functionality. So once the records have been getting searched, then where we can display the results. Whatever the records have been getting collected through the SQL query, those records I want to represent on my Visual First page. For that one, inside this page block, I want to represent the records in the form of a tabular form. So in this page block table, I would like to represent a table over. So I'm indicating the page block table. I'm preparing a page block table. I'm indicating that value property, value equals to LST accounts, and the var property equals to SEC. And then I'm adding the columns. Column value equals to SEC dot rating. Apex column value equals to SEC dot industry. Apex column value equals to SEC dot type. Apex column value equals to ACC dot annual revenue. Apex column value equals to ACC dot ownership. Apex column value equals to ACC dot apex column value equals to ACC dot tax. Apex column value equals to ACC dot active status. These are the various columns I want to represent along with the name column also. Name column I want to show in the form of hyperlink, so that I'm using this apex column by apex column tab. I'm giving the column title. That means that is called as header value. Header value equals to account name. Inside this column, I would like to represent the data. Okay, I would like to represent the data. Okay, in the form of hyperlink, so that we can able to use that hyperlink over apex output link. Here, I would like to display that account record name, ACC dot name, and then upon click on this hyperlink, I want to redirect the user to that specific detail page of the record. So we can specify value property equals to slash ACC dot ID. That means I would like to specify that account record ID. Based on this ID, I would like to redirect the user to the detail page. And next one, I would like to specify the target property. Target equals to underscore blank. That means I want to display that record detail page in the separated blank tab. I would like to open a blank tab. Inside that blank tab, I would like to represent. And the next one, I want to show this resultant records collection. The result records are available inside my collection. Now I want to show this collection size also here. How many records has been written? I'm indicating this. Okay, list accounts dot size. List accounts dot size. I want to represent that records collection size inside this braces. Okay, now, so in this case, what needs to be done? Now, I would like to search for the records by click on that button control. So upon click on the button control, I need to call this particular method over here. This is the method I would like to import. So go to the button control, specify the action property. Action property equals to specify the method name which you would like to invoke. And then upon invoking that, which will be collecting the data, it will be refreshing this particular page. Now let me show you practically. Now, for example, I'm entering the character some UN. So based on these characters, I would like to search for the records. Upon click on the search records, it is collecting the data. So now it is indicating that empty. Okay, with the characters UN, we don't have any records are available. Let me verify. Now, upon click on this button control, I would like to invoke this method, and then this method has to be get searching for the records over here. Whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with this particular characters, I'm fetching those records. I would like to display those records inside my user interface. Now, at that time, I don't want to refresh the whole page. Only this particular page block I want to refresh. For that reason, what I want to do is I would like to specify the re-render property. Re-render. So I'm indicating the ID property here. For this one, I'm giving that PG block. Nothing but this is a page block which I would like to refresh. So upon click on this button control, I would like to call the method. Immediately, I would like to refresh this. Which part you would like to refresh? Only that PG block. Nothing but only this particular page block you can refresh this. Instead of refreshing the whole page, I would like to refresh only this particular part of this page itself. Nothing but only this page block. I want to refresh this. Now let's see in this case. I'm searching for some characters here. Click as some P. Click on search records. We can see these records information. Whatever the account records are available, whose name is starting with the character some P, there are 4 matching records are available. These are the records. Now, like as Pradeep Kumar, Praveen Kumar, public group test account, pyramid construction incorporation, like this. When you click on this record, that record detail page will be getting visible to you automatically. The record details information will be getting visible. Suppose, for example, I'm searching for the record from United. Once you click on such a record, there are having 3 records are available. United Island Gas Corporation, United Island Gas Singapore, United Island Gas UK, like the 3 records. I'm giving the value like as some test. Once you click on such a record, there are 2 records are available which are matching with the keyword test. I'm indicating like as some yes. Once you click on that such a records, we are having 3 records are available whose name is starting with the character some yes. Like that, here depends upon your requirement, we can able to implement this functionality. Suppose when the user click on this button control, when the user click on this search accounts without entering any characters over here, it is simply showing empty. But now what I want to show is I want to display some error message over here. I want to show the message. Please enter some search text in order to search the records. I want to show some error message. For that one, what we can do? Just we can go to that. If the search text value is not null and not empty, then only we can do the searching mechanism. Else, I would like to specify. I would like to specify that error message over. What is that error message you want to display? I would like to specify. Apex pages dot add message. New Apex pages dot message. You know how to specify the error messages. In the previous session we have discussed. I want to show the error icon. For that one I'm indicating Apex pages dot severity dot warning. Okay, warning. Or some information you can specify info. Okay, info. I want to display the error message over here. Please enter the search text to search matching records. To search matching records. So please enter the search text to search the matching records over here. I want to display this error message. Where you want to display on the Visualforce page. So now in this case, if you want to show the error messages on the page, then we have to add a tag called as page messages tag. Inside the font tag, we have to add a tag over here. Apex page messages. I'm indicating the ID property. ID equals to errors. Now this page messages also we have to refresh. Upon click on this button control, we need to refresh this page block. Along with that, if there is any errors are available, I want to refresh this. Okay, I would like to refresh this errors part also. So that here I'm going to be representing some error messages on my Visualforce page. So that by using this page messages tag, which will be having the ID equals to error. This is the part I would like to refresh so that we can show that error messages. Upon click on this button control, I want to refresh the page block as well as I want to refresh the error messages also over here. Now, in this case, here what we can do. Now let's see. Suppose here I'm not entering any data. When I click on that search records, it is indicating the message. Please enter the search text to search the matching records. Okay. Please enter the search text to search the matching records over here. Now, that facility is available to you over here.
To get the error message under the field, how do we get there?
No, this will be visible only on the user interface, nothing but at the top of the page only, not at the below that field here. At the below that field, we can't display that. Only at the top of the page.
Okay, so how do we get the, like a pop-up message at least, like instead
For
of
that one, JavaScript. Through JavaScript, we can show some pop-up messages over there.
okay.
Okay. Suppose if you want to show like as a error message, then we can specify instead of using this information, I would like to specify the error. I want to show the error message here. Now click on search records. It is indicating error message. Please enter the search text to search for the matching records over. Like that, we can able to show the error message. For example, I'm entering some characters like as some UN. When you click on the search records, matching records are available. Those records are getting visible. Suppose here I'm indicating that, okay, search record. Then it will be indicating the error message. Please enter the search text. Without that search text, we can't search for the information. For that reason, we are going to be indicating this. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt in search accounts controller.
Okay.
In that we are created a list control object, sir. Why we created a list control list accounts object?
Okay, because we need to store the records, right? Whatever the matching records are available, we need to collect those records. We have to store inside a collection, so that I'm creating this object. Okay, I'm creating this object. In future, if you want to display this records count, how many records are available, then at that time we can able to collect that count over from the list collection object. We can collect the count by using the size method.
Okay, sir. Without the object also, yesterday I practiced data source. In that time without object also I am getting the records, all the records, sir, without object.
Without the object, you can able to get all the records, and along with that, what will happen if the number of records are 0? We can't see that count over there. But always we have to maintain that objects over there. Based on that, we can display the collection size.
Okay.
If we mention the object here, we can use the DML operation also, right?
Yes, we can do the DML operations also inside this. Wherever you want, you can do the DML
object, we cannot do DML operations.
Yes, right. So this is the way we are going to be implementing the fetching mechanism. Instead of fetching all the records, you can fetch only the required records based on that matching criteria by using this fetch functionality.
Yeah, Feroz. Yeah, Feroz.
Yes.
Yeah, can you please explain the programs in the developer console so that it is very clear?
Because we are also the same, right?
Yeah, but we are seeing the small icons, and when we are going to the Visual Force page, the content is pretty much small, and we are confusing here.
So why small? Because I have increased the maximum font, right? Here also maximum font I have specified. That's what keep on I'm increasing the font also. Okay. If you want, then I will place inside this one also. Because at that time it will be difficult. We have to switch from developer console to the browser to developer console. We have to keep on switch. At that time, the people will get confused. Why we are switching from there to here to there? That will be difficult. That's what here I'm using this file. If you want me to go with that completely developer console, I will do that. But the problem is you will be getting confused. Why I'm switching from this tab to that tab to this tab? That will be difficult thing to understand.
Sir, how can we place error message in the page block section?
Inside that?
Page block section. I mean, above
inside
that,
this page block section, we have to place it like as a text, output text. Or output label, we can display the error messages also. Here we have to place one separate output label or output text. There we can display the error message. Whatever the error message is available, that error message we can able to place inside a variable. That variable we can able to bind inside the output text. Directly we can display.
While entering new account, if we don't enter any value and we'll save it, it is showing above that text box, and it is showing in page box section also.
So that's because now here we have to, if you want to show that error message inside this below this text box, then we have to use that output label or output text. There you can able to display the message whatever you want. But generally we have to show the message always on the top of the page, because whenever the page is getting refreshing, it is going to the top of the page, so the user can able to see what exactly the error message is. Okay.
Sir, how can I place this button beside next to that text box?
Now at that time we have to use that CSS. By using that CSS, we have to prepare a div tag. In that div tag we can able to combine both, because here whenever we are going to placing this user interface, we are using the page block section. Page block section have given the number of columns are 2, so that it is dividing. The first half will be one page block section, nothing but one part is the second column over here. So in the second column it is placing this controller. Okay, if you want to combine both side by side, then at that time we can able to go with the div tags by using CSS. There we can able to combine both side by side also. like this. Side by side, we can able to place. Instead of having any space, we can able to do like this. But if I'm using the page black section, it will be placing by giving that space itself. Because it will be having half of the part will be one column, half of the part will be second column.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, yesterday I have sent you an image in WhatsApp. What to do for the alignments and for the font controls and the text
Then
colors?
that's what. Okay, for that one, we have to go with CSS only. By using that custom style sheets, we can able to change that colors, font, style, everything we can able to change.
Alignment also.
Alignments also. Because the purely that CSS we are using for the custom styles. Alignments and then background colors, text colors, font, size, everything we can do by using CSS only.
Will you show any small
Okay.
examples, sir, on that?
Yeah, we'll see that. As part of CSS, we'll see.
Okay, sir.
There was one more doubt. Hello.
Yes.
So suppose we have a new button and we want to redirect to that page where we create a new account. So how we'll do that?
We can do that. So at that time, we have to directly redirect to that particular page itself. Whatever the account record is available, we can able to go to the directly to the account record new page itself over there. By using that URL for function. That will be the next concept. In the next concept, we'll see how can we use this URL for function, which is used to redirect the user to the new button, new form itself, so that the user can able to see the new record also.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So let me give you a small assignment, okay, on this set of functionality. For example, I would like to have a user interface in order to search for the records. This is the user interface. I'm having a Visual Force page. In this Visual Force page, I'm having few text boxes. I'm having few text boxes. First name, and the last name, university. So I'm having the three text boxes around. We have to enter the leads of first name, so you have to enter the lead's last name, and you have to enter the lead's industry also. Here I'm having this text box around. And beside that, I'm having a small button control, go. There is a go button. Go button. So this is the such a text boxes that we have. I'm having these such text boxes. These are the text boxes. Here I'm giving some watermark also inside this. Lead first name, lead last name, and the industry name. And the industry. So I need to enter some lead records first name, last name, and the industry name. After entering that, when you click on go button, whatever the matching criteria is available, and then that's records I would like to represent inside my table or part. So I would like to have a table over here. In this table, I want to show those resultant records. I would like to represent the records in the table or part. I would like to represent the records in the table or part. Whatever the matching lead records are available, the lead records information I want to represent. Lead name and the industry name and the rating value, lead status, lead annual revenue, lead phone number, and the fax. Okay, now I want to display this records information. Whatever the matching leads are available, those lead records information I want to display. Here, this is the lead name. Lead name means what? Both combination of both first name and last name, both I want to show here. Okay, both first name and last name, both you have to combine, you have to show in this case. Just by giving one small space. First name Ram, last name Kumar. Ram space Kumar. We have to combine, we have to show inside a single column only. I don't want two columns, I want only one column. And then, after that, I want to indicate the lead industry. Industry name. Rating value. And the status. Lead status. And the annual revenue. And the lead phone number. Lead fax number. Those records I want to represent. Along with that, I want to show the records count. Okay, I want to show the records count. Result records. I want to display that count also. I want to show that count. I want to represent this whole information over. I want to represent this whole information. Okay, this is my user interface. I want the functionality like this, where I need a user interface. In this user interface, the user has to search for the records. The user has to enter the lead last name, first name, and the last name, and the industry name. Now, here you can raise a question. Sir, suppose for example, okay, if the user has entered only the industry name, he did not enter the first name and the last name, then search the records based on the industry name only over here. Suppose the user has entered the first name and then the industry name, then based on the first name and the industry name, I need to fetch the matching records. Suppose if the user has entered only the first name and the last name, then based on this two, whatever the matching records are there, collect those records, represent. If the user has entered all the three, first name, last name, and the industry, based on these three columns information, matching records you have to fetch, you have to represent this here. This is my requirement. Okay, now, so in this case, whatever the records are getting visible, those records should be displayed in the form of a hyperlink. Suppose if it is showing one record over here, let me give you that information. Now, first name is Ram, last name is Kumar. So I'm indicating that Ram space Kumar. Industry, some bank. Rating, some heart. Status, open, not contacted. We can specify that. Annual revenue, some 40 lakhs. Phone number, some value. Fax number, some value. But in this case, this name should be getting visible in the form of a hyperlink format. Okay, name should be get visible in the form of a hyperlink. So upon click on this name, automatically the record has to be get visible to me over here. Okay, I want to redirect the user to the detail page of the record. This is my requirement. So whatever the matching records are available based on the first name and the last name and the industry, I need to search for the records, and those records I want to represent. Okay, this is my requirement. Try this assignment today. In the next session, we'll see some more examples of Visualforce program. If you're done with this one, then the remaining concept will be very, very easy for you. I will place this screenshot also inside your Google Drive so that you can able to try for this example. And then tomorrow we are having the integration session morning at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow is a Saturday, right? So tomorrow we'll be having the integration session morning at 8 o'clock. Regarding that integration, you will be getting a new meeting link today. But today evening, you will be getting a new meeting link, and then use that new meeting link to join the session tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.